Hey boys and girls, Mrs. Baldwin with another one of my favorite books. This one is written and illustrated by Dan Santat, and he did Are We There Yet? And a bunch of other books, but this one, he took an old nursery rhyme and turned it into a fabulous story with, well, you'll see. It's called After the Fall. How Humpty Dumpty got back up again. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together again. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. If you get a chance to look at this book, you'll see all the cereal on the bottom. This one's called cardboard, twigs and berries, leaves, grown-up food, fiber flakes, bland, flax, Bag-O cereal, and all the ones on the top are just delicious looking. But look at his sad face. He won't go up that ladder. I walked past that wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really miss the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. And then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day, I kept trying and trying. Until I got it just right. That's a nice one. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again, but I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Crack, 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 crack. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. And learned how to fly. What do you think? You know, the first time I saw this book, and I saw this, and I saw the cracks, I was like, what's going on? What is that? What's he doing? And when I turned the page and saw those wings, I was a little confused. And then, when I saw this last page, I realized Humpty Dumpty was an egg. After the fall, Dan Santat.